This is Government Unfiltered. I'm Dan Williams. This podcast is a reading of the December 22nd, 2022 final report from the Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol. Chapter 4. Just call it corrupt and leave the rest to me. 4.6. President Trump is introduced to Jeffrey Clark. On December 21, 2020, 11 House Republicans met with President Trump at the White House to discuss their plans for objecting to the certification of the Electoral College vote on January 6th. After the meeting, Mark Meadows tweeted, "Several members of Congress just finished a meeting in the Oval Office with @Real Donald Trump, preparing to fight back against mounting evidence of voter fraud. Stay tuned." Among those in attendance was Congressman Scott Perry, a Republican from Pennsylvania. By the next day, Representative Perry had introduced a little-known DOJ official named Jeffrey Clark to the president. At the time, Clark was the acting head of the Civil Division and head of the Environmental and Natural Resources Division at the Department of Justice. Clark had no experience in, or responsibilities related to, investigating allegations of election fraud. President Trump called Acting Attorney General Rosen virtually every day between December 23rd and January 3rd. The president usually discussed his dissatisfaction with DOJ, claiming the department was not doing enough to investigate election fraud. On Christmas Eve, Trump brought up Jeffrey Clark's name. Rosen found it peculiar, telling the Select Committee, "I was quizzical as to how does the president even know Mr. Clark?" Rosen then spoke directly with Clark on December 26th. Clark revealed that he had met with the president in the Oval Office several days prior. Clark had told the president that if he were to change the leadership at the Department of Justice, then the department might be able to do more to support the president's claim that the election had been stolen from him. In his discussion with Acting Attorney General Rosen, Clark was defensive and apologetic, claiming that the meeting with President Trump was inadvertent and it would not happen again, and that if anyone asked him to go to such a meeting, he would notify Rich Donahue and me, Rosen. Of course, Clark had good reasons to be defensive. His meeting with President Trump and Representative Perry on December 22nd was a clear violation of department policy, which limits interactions between the White House and the department's staff. As Stephen Engel, former Assistant Attorney General for the Office of Legal Counsel, explained to the Select Committee, "It's critical that the Department of Justice conducts its criminal investigations free from either the reality or any appearance of political interference. For that reason, the department has long-standing policies in place across administrations to keep these communications as infrequent and at the highest levels as possible, just to make sure that people who are less careful about it, who don't really understand these implications, such as Mr. Clark, don't run afoul of those contact policies." Rosen added that only the Attorney General or Deputy Attorney General can have conversations about criminal matters with the White House, or they can authorize someone from within DOJ to do so. Clark had no such authorization. Representative Perry continued to advocate on Clark's behalf. The congressman texted Meadows on December 26th, writing, "Mark, just checking in as time continues to count down. 11 days to 1/6 and 25 days to inauguration. We gotta get going." Representative Perry followed up, "Mark, you should call Jeff. I just got off the phone with him, and he explained to me why the principal deputy position won't work, especially with the FBI. They will view it as not having the authority to enforce what needs to be done." Meadows responded, "I got it. I think I understand. Let me work on the deputy position." Representative Perry then sent additional texts. "Roger. Just sent you something on Signal. Just sent you an updated file. And, did you call Jeff Clark?" Episodes of Government Unfiltered are produced without any additional commentary and created based on the value-for-value model. Instead of charging $15 to $40 like other media outlets, you get to decide what it's worth to provide an open and available reading of this document. Please support the podcast at governmentunfiltered.com by clicking on the support button for a one-time donation. You can also click on the contact button and ask for an address if you'd prefer to mail a check. Thank you to associate producer Jay Bernhard and all of the insiders who support at patreon.com/Timberlane Media. For those of you who would like to provide an anonymous donation, you can go to glow.fm/insider. Follow the show on Twitter @GovUnfiltered or on Facebook, facebook.com/governmentunfiltered. Thank you for listening.